Good morning, my friends. Welcome back to the Off-Grid Garage here in sunny and hot Alemannia. 146 amps outside we had yesterday. I wasn't at home at the time, but I saw it on the app and forgot to take a screenshot. Yeah, this is our last month of winter. Yeah, with all these clouds on the way, we're getting these nice edge cases then when the sun comes out of the cloud somewhere. And all these surrounding clouds, they're reflecting the light down on the solar panels, and 146 amps. Wow. Yes, my friends, let me bring you up to date here in the battery and system room. We have finalized the top part of the battery wall, power battery extension wall. You can see the Victron bus bars up there, the nice cable duct now, everything is closed, and the 16 MCCBs down here to connect to the batteries. The smart shunt cabling is all fixed up now. I still need to design and print some covers, some shrouds for this MCCB. And it is almost time to turn this beast on and power up this bus bar. I've also installed one of the battery connection points over there and cabled this to one of the circuit breakers. But unfortunately I cannot use this connection here because this was supposed to be connection point number 1. Yeah, breaker number 1, connection point number 1. And then we had 16 underneath here, this cable duct connecting to all the batteries. But while this is the extension part of the battery shelf, I am already working on an extension for the extension, because I did the battery fitting here. Yeah, I've got all the towers, all the batteries sitting in here in the battery room now, and was looking at how everything fits. And some of the batteries are sitting on this side, yeah, against the roller door basically. I didn't like the idea to have the connection cables just running on the floor somewhere and then coming up and connect to the connection point over there somewhere. So I thought, why not extend this cable duct across the whole length of the roller door and give us more connection points for batteries on this side here. So yesterday I went to the hardware and fencing shop here in this area, and I bought some 50 by 5 millimeter flat bar and also some tabs, 100 by 5 millimeters. And I welded these tabs exactly in the position where I want the additional connection points to be. And I cleaned up all the welding areas with an angle grinder, make them nice and smooth, and then just use some primer and anti-rust paint to cover these areas again. And basically this is the result so far. So what I have just done now, these are the 5 connection points I have added now to this flat bar. So this is basically MCCB 1, breaker 2, breaker 3, breaker 4 and breaker 5. And this will be connection point number 6 or breaker number 6 then. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 16. So we've got 1 to 5 over here and 6 to 16 over here. And so this one will be actually connection point number 6 or breaker number 6 somewhere over there. And then I have the same short connection cables just connecting to the connection points here directly instead of running somewhere across the floor or hanging here at the wall or something. So better use the cable duct in this location as well and have clean and dedicated connection points. There will be also some modifications of these connection points. The parts are not here yet. They should be coming in a couple of days. I ordered them all from AliExpress because we need to connect the communication of each BMS as well somehow. And why not integrate them into these connection points as well? So everything is nice and clean and straightforward. I also used the green laser this morning to level out my mounting point over here. And I've got these 2 brackets here, height adjustable. And this will basically carry the 50 by 5 mil bar across the roller door to the other side. There will be another angle then connecting to the aluminium sheet. So nothing actually gets attached to the roller door itself. Even we are not using it anymore, but I don't want to drill anything into this door. So the bracket and mounting point for this bar sits over here, a little bit above this rail where the roller door fits in and slides up and down. But we are not sliding anymore. So and now basically it is only a matter of drilling 2 holes here, having these 2 holes in these boxes as well. By the way, if you are interested in these plastic boxes here, they are pretty good quality, very thick material, not too thick, but very sturdy. Come in all kind of sizes and shapes. They have this little rubber sealing inside, come with all these screws, and they're really ideal for these little projects. So yeah, I had some good experience with these boxes here. The link is down below. So basically these will sit on these 5 tabs. And then the 100 by 75 cable duct sits just on top. And we screw the cable duct to the bar and drill the usual holes, get the cables out. Yeah, pretty much the same situation as we had when we built the battery shelf here. There were some modifications necessary as we went on with the build, because I realized something is not working or something is not optimal as I designed it, as I thought about it. And with these projects, there's always some flexibility and adaptation modification necessary. No problem, it worked out well. Look at this, 126 amps. It must be the sun just coming out. Yeah, the sun just came out of this cloud. And then, boom, 145 amps yesterday. Today, 126. Yeah, 141. Already producing 8.9 kilowatt from solar and 7.6 goes into the batteries. Alright, so these 2 holes are drilled for the connection boxes for each of these tabs. And I'm going to use this angle bracket here to... We just need to drill 2 holes into the bar, and this one is then mounted against the aluminium sheet. Alright, let's see if this beast fits. Alright, here it comes. It's heavy. It's heavy. Yeah, that's where the connection points will be. Alright, I put this in the middle of this existing duct. It doesn't really matter too much, because we won't see this bar at all anymore after the cable duct is mounted. Alright, let's see. We can get 1 screw in, and then I'm able to determine the other 2 screws on the other side. 1 M6 screw, come on. Easy. Easy, look at this. Okay, now I've got the exact height. I used a piece of wire here to hold it in place. I should really put the level on here and see how we... Oh, it is already straight. Oh, that's cool. Alright, so that's the height we need. This is now the end on the other side, on the left hand side. And I just drilled 2 6.5mm holes here. These screws and nuts on. And I'm not tightening it yet, because this gives me a bit of wiggle room then to adjust everything so it is straight and it works. Ah, I made a mistake already. It's the other way around. I thought this doesn't look right, because there's my line. This should line up with this corner. Alright, here it comes again. Once again. Okay, let's mount these connection boxes. And then we've got the height where the cable duct needs to sit. Yeah, and this banging against the roller door, I'll put some EVA tape behind this bar so it's a bit softer and has some cushioning against the roller door. Because when we have high winds or something, the roller door might swing a bit and then bangs against this metal. That would drive me nuts. That is looking good, except of this one here. This one is a bit on an angle, so I'm not sure what happened here. But I have to drill a larger hole into the plastic, then I can adjust it a bit. All the other ones are dead straight. Strange. How good is that? 2555. Exactly there. Here it comes. 2.555555 meters. So this should sit on top of these boxes and then slide in over there. And oh, okay. All right. We are a bit low on this side. A bit low. Why is that? Why is this happening? Now I have to do some serious cutouts here. Multi-tool time. Also this morning the RJ45 network sockets have arrived, and they have some screw terminals on the back, and this is just the usual RJ45. Surprisingly, this is actually a metal front plate, and you can see the hook at the top and at the bottom. If you press the bottom one, they can actually come off, and you can mount this one. This is pretty heavy, and this one can be cabled, and then it snaps back into place. Pretty cool. I've already mounted one inside one of these connection boxes and also drilled 2 holes here for the LAN cables to go in, and then we jump from this port to the next one, to the next one, to the next one. We've got always an incoming and an outgoing cable, and I'll just use normal Cat5, Cat6, whatever I have here, and have all these ports in parallel. Pretty much the pretty much the same as you have on a communication board as well. These two are completely in parallel. And I made myself this template here, just 3D printed. And it has these 2 holes exactly in the right position where the terminals will be. And the other 2 holes are marking these 2 holes for the power cables. Unfortunately, I made this template a bit short, so I cannot use it to mark the other 2 holes here as well. So I probably make another one, extend this side a bit, and also have a template with a hole on the other side for the RJ45 port. Definitely worth doing and spending some time with these templates when you have to do 16 of them. And here's the new template. I've got a 2-color tone because there was silver still in the hose, and then I changed the roll to white. But who cares? So that's the new one with all the holes in the right position, and I just need to check if this actually works. So this goes on top. This sits in there. Oh yeah, I can still see the black dots from the last template. So this all works out. And I've got a new one here for the RJ45 and 2 more down here for the LAN cable going in and out. And that's pretty much it. 1 dot here, 1 there, 1 over here. All right, let's do one and see how it looks like. And Bob is your mother's brother. So I went with these black hex head screws for the 2 terminals, positive, negative. Yeah, I tried the chrome screws as well here. So I'm not sure what is better, the black ones or the chrome ones. So I wasn't quite sure, but I went with 200 hex head screws. That's what they are called. So I need to pay attention to mount the terminal like this, because the cable is coming through this hole and connects straight to the terminals. They are a bit larger than these ones I had. Andy, this doesn't matter at all, just keep going. Alright, that concludes the build of the second connection point for batteries. First one, prototype. And this is the one with the template. Goes a lot quicker. Still takes about 20-25 minutes to build one. The good thing is I've got only 13.5 to go. So this is now the wedding of the cable duct and the flat bar. I've used M8 screws and big mudguard washers everywhere. So we've got this nice and securely bonded together forever. What these smaller holes are for next to the other ones? You mean these ones? Ventilation. Originally, I wanted to use M6 screws for this, and usually you drill 5.3 millimeters for that, and then use a tab for the M6 thread. But for some reason, I still had a 6 millimeter drill bit in my battery drill. So in a 6 millimeter hole with an M6 screw does not fit. Then the next day, I drilled another hole next to the ventilation hole, and guess what? The same thing happened again. For some reason, someone put a 6 millimeter drill bit into my battery drill. So I had two 6 millimeter holes next to each other, but now with the M8 screws, they don't come apart anymore, ever. So we now just need to make the cutouts for the power cables and the network cables. And then the cable duct can basically be mounted and we are done. Looking good. And here's the beast again, one more time. And we never have to take it off again, hopefully. At least that's the theory. Wood is heavy. And a nut behind it, yes. Alright, it's not coming off anymore. Maybe the cable duct needs a bit of adjustment there in the corner, but that's fine. I've got a tiny bit of play here. It is already straight. If you go a tiny bit higher here, it is a bit straighter. I think this is pretty bomb-fest. And look at this. No more banging anymore against the roller door. Because now it is actually not even touching it. Yeah, before we mounted the cable duct, the flat bar was a bit bended outwards. But now it is pretty straight. Oh geez, I need to clean this roller door. It's so dusty. Look at this. And even if so, alright, let's mount the first connection point. And the lid. You know, it would be cool if there would be a red LED, a red light here on this connection point, if it is live. I was looking for LED drivers to cope with input voltages between 40 and 60 volts and deliver a constant current of only 20 milliamps to the LED. I couldn't find any. I could find some, but the electronic is fairly large. Obviously, it needs to waste a lot of energy, and the LED runs only on 1.6, 1.7 volts, so the voltage needs to come down a lot. And there was definitely no room inside this connection box anymore for another electronic, and I didn't like the idea to have another box here inside the cable duct now just for the LED driver. So if anyone knows something how to connect a single LED to 40 to 60 volts input voltage with a small and compact footprint, please leave your comments down below. Because this might be a nice future update to have a little red LED here in the box when the matching circuit breaker is turned on. So when these two contacts are live, red LED. So cool. So all these 4 screws here, they are out of the way because the cables, they will never go in this corner. They will more go like this. Yeah, see, this cable duct may need a bit of adjustment. But I have to wait until the lid comes on, and then we have to see if I need to cut it a little bit more. Should be fairly easy with the multi-tool, which is linked down below. Okay, my friends, I think so far this video for today. I started this whole process here on Monday. Monday I picked up the flat bar and welded everything together and painted it and all this kind of shit. And today is Friday. But I wasn't at home on Tuesday and had only limited time on Wednesday on yesterday. So a couple of hours here and there, but all in total, big project. And a big project needs big help. Guys, thank you so much for all your support here, for all these wonderful and beautiful people who are donating to the channel, leaving nice comments, becoming a channel member, clicking the like button underneath. Thank you very much for all your amazing support. Guys, until the next video, when we potentially have a look at the new JK inverter BMS version 22 with Wi-Fi and with a lot of new features, because I was in the very lucky position to meet with the Master Chief Boss Developer from GKong 2 weeks ago. He was here in Australia and we met for a couple of hours. He brought me a whole box full of goodies and we sat in his hotel room for probably 3-4 hours and tested all this equipment. He showed me all the features, all the new functions. Yeah, there's a lot to unveil with this new version 22 JK inverter BMS. But I guess, guys, until then, you stay charged, stay safe, and thanks again so much for watching. See you then. Bye bye.